Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridhari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridhari
Yashodanandana Praja Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Praja Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana
Yamunatira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamunatira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Gaur Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol
Jai Jai Prabhupada Jai Srila Prabhupada
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
This AC is a bit too cold for me.
Yeah.
I'm feeling freezing here.
The words just coming on.
I'm not used to so much AC. Alright, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So reading from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, text number 10. Yeah? Tesham satata yuktanam
Tesham satata yuktanam
Bhajatam pritipurvakam
Bhajatam priti purvakam
Dadadi buddhi yogamam
Tadami buddhi yogam tam
Yena mam upayanti te
Yena mam upayanti te
Tesham satata yuktanam
Tesham satata yuktanam
Bhajatam pritipurvakam
Bhajatam priti purvakam
Dadadi buddhi yogam tam
Dadami buddhi yogam tam
Yena mam upayanti te.
Yena mam upayanti te
Okay. Some of you can chant.
Tesham satata yuktanam Tesham satata yuktanam Bhajatam priti purvakam Bhajatam priti purvakam Dadami buddhi yogam tam Dadami buddhi yogam tam Yena mam upayanti Yena mam upayanti te Yena mam upayanti te
Tesham satata yuktanam
Tesham satata yuktanam
Bhajatam priti purvakam
Bhajatam priti purvakam
Dadami buddhi yogam tam
Dadami buddhi yogam tam
Yena mam upayanti te
Yena mam upayanti te
Tesham satata yuktanam
Tesham satata yuktanam
Bhajatam priti purvakam
Bhajatam priti purvakam
Dadami buddhi yogam tam
Dadami buddhi yogam tam
Yena mam upayanti te
Yena mam upayanti te
Tesham satata yuktanam
Tesham satata yuktanam
Bhajatam priti purvakam
Bhajatam priti purvakam
Dadami buddhi yogam tam
Dadami buddhi yogam tam
Yena mam upayanti te
Yena mam upayanti te
Tesham satata yuktanam
Tesham satata yuktanam
Bhajatam priti purvakam
Bhajatam priti purvakam
Dadami buddhi yogam tam
Dadami buddhi yogam tam
Yena mam upayanti te
Yena mam upayanti te
Tesham satata yuktanam
Tesham satata yuktanam
Bhajatam priti purvakam
Bhajatam priti purvakam
Dadami buddhi yogam tam
Dadami buddhi yogam tam
Yena mam upayanti te
Yena mam upayanti te
Very good. So, Tesham
Tesham
unto them.
unto them
Satata yuktanam.
Satata yuktanam
Always engaged.
always engaged
Bhajatam.
Bhajatam
In rendering devotional service.
in rendering devotional service
Priti purvakam.
Priti purvakam
In loving ecstasy.
in loving ecstasy
Dadami.
Dadami
Give.
give
Buddhi yogam.
buddhi yogam
Real intelligence.
real intelligence
Come. That.
that
Yena.
Yena
By which.
which
Mam.
mam
Unto me.
unto me
So. Vayanti. Tapayanti. Come.
come
Te.
te
They.
they
Translation. To those who are constantly devoted to loving service, to serving me with love, I give them understanding by which they can come to me.
I give the understanding.
It's going to fall down. It's not staying.
Well, I'll just read the purport, then I can hold it.
Yes.
That will be easier.
Last. You keep that. Yeah, one more. You keep this up.
Well, what are exams?
Last, bro, last. There only. Balancing is not happening.
Now I think.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
No, that only really last. Center part is not correct.
Okay, Prabhupada's purport. In this verse, the word Buddhi Yoga is very significant. We have, you may remember, do you remember? You may remember in the second chapter. Have you read the second chapter? In the second chapter, the Lord instructed Arjuna and said that he had spoken to him of many things and that he would instruct him in the way of Buddhi Yoga. Now Buddhi Yoga is explained. Buddhi Yoga itself is action in Krishna consciousness. That is the highest intelligence. Buddhi means intelligence and yoga means mystic activities or mystic elevation. When one tries to go back home, back to Godhead, and takes fully to Krishna consciousness in devotional service, his action is called Buddhi Yoga. In other words, Buddhi Yoga is the process by which one gets out of the entanglement of this material world. The ultimate goal of progress is Krishna. People do not know this, therefore the association of devotees and a bona fide spiritual master are important. One should know that the goal is Krishna, and when the goal is assigned, then the path is slowly but progressively traversed, and the ultimate goal is achieved. When a person knows the goal of life, but is addicted to the fruits of activities, he is acting in karma yoga. When he knows that the goal is Krishna, but he takes pleasure in mental speculation to understand Krishna, he is acting in jnana yoga. And when he knows the goal and seeks Krishna completely in Krishna consciousness and devotional service, he is acting in bhakti yoga or buddhi yoga, which is the complete yoga. The complete yoga is the highest perfectional stage of life. A person may have a bona fide spiritual master and may be attached to a spiritual organization, but if he's still not intelligent enough to make progress, then Krishna from within gives him instruction, so that he may ultimately come to him without difficulty. The qualification is that a person always engage himself in Krishna consciousness, and when one and with love and devotion under the render all kinds of service. He should perform some sort of work for Krishna, and that work should be with love. If a devotee is not intelligent enough to make progress on the path of self-realization, but is sincere and devotee to the activities of devotional service, the Lord gives him a chance to make progress and ultimately attain to Him. Okay? Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Visham Savitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Yam Dadati Swatadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudhavadanam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Raghunatam Tam Sajevam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parichana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahajana Lalita Shri Vishakanitamsya Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwanusate Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vachakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Parevasya Adhikanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namne Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani
Jai Sri Krishna.
Lord Krishna is instructing Arjuna here. This is one of the 4 verses which are called the Chaturshloki of the Bhagavad Gita, or the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. Do we want translation? Everybody knows English?
No.
Everybody know English? Okay. So talk slowly anyway. So it's an important verse in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna, let me take it. I can hold it in my hand.
Prabhu, you will try once in this. You keep and try, Prabhu. You keep inside and try, Prabhu, one time.
I prefer to hold it. Yeah.
Put it inside. Yeah.
So Lord Krishna is
Not
giving
fall
this
down.
very important information to Arjuna and to all of us.
Maybe
Lord
after
Krishna
taking
is
that we don't.
describing the results of devotion. Right? You all have some devotion. You sacrifice your time to come here. And sometimes you cook. Sometimes you make garlands. Sometimes you help different devotional activities. You like to do service for Lord Krishna. Service is the nature of the living entity. We are all souls, right? And our soul has a relationship with Lord Krishna. We are all the servants. He is the master. He is the supreme, and we are his tiny servants. So we like to render service to him. Different services we can do for him. So sometimes it becomes difficult for us to progress in Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada remarks here that sometimes we can be initiated. How many of you are initiated? Only one?
There's one more. I'm translating there.
She's translating there. Charu Mataji is also there. She is also initiated.
Oh, two.
Yeah.
Two are initiated. Only two. There's so many ladies in here.
This ladies class.
Oh, good. No, so they're all new ladies.
Yes, they're now Bhagavad Gita finished. Now they are enter into the Bhagavatam.
Oh, really? Oh, very good. You finished the Bhagavad Gita, huh? Yeah?
Yes.
Oh, the Bhagavad Gita finishes with surrender to Krishna, right? So you've all surrendered. And now you're going on to Bhagavatam. Anyway, we're hearing the 10th chapter, very important verse, the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna is describing his relationship with the devotees, how he helps the devotee to come to him. We help. As we have devotion for Krishna, Krishna devotes to his devotee. He reciprocates. He's a person, right? The more we give to Krishna, the more Krishna is attracted and wants to help us to come to him. So Lord Krishna helps us to overcome the obstacles which we face. In coming to Krishna consciousness, there are always some difficulties. There's always obstacles, challenges to be met. It's not an easy thing, especially you ladies, you have your families, you have your husband, children, so then responsibilities, some things are there, issues to be taken care of. It's not that you can give yourself completely to Lord Krishna, but you have an interest, you want to know about Krishna, and you want to cultivate some devotion. Devotion is natural for us, just like mother has devotion for her child. That is natural. In the same way, somebody else has devotion for a dog. You know, maybe you have no children, you know, you get a dog, you know. Like that, people devote themselves to the dog, or you maybe have a cat. The Muslim people are more fond of cats and dogs. Like some people have goldfish, some people have little birds in the cave. Everyone has some devotion. You're devoted to your car, these things. Devoted to your apartments, your homes. So devotion is there. We want to nourish our devotion to Lord Krishna, because Lord Krishna is the actual person who we have the eternal connection with. We have many friends in this world, and you know, friends, they come and go. Just like here in Dubai, some people are here 1 year, next year you come, they're not there anymore, they're gone. Where'd they go? Went back to India, or moved to another country, or sometimes somebody is in Dubai, sometimes they move to Bahrain, or Oman, or like that, Qatar, and different places. And so, friends are like that. But the one friend who is always with us, that is Lord Krishna. And we want to cultivate that relationship with Lord Krishna. He is described, maybe you remember from the 5th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, there's a verse there which is called the peace formula. People like peace, right? You say, Shanti, 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 right? Om Shanti, we like peace. So Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, he describes about peace. And he describes how he is the best friend. And one who knows Krishna as the best friend and as the proprietor and controller of everything, then he can have peace. We don't get peace because we are thinking, this is mine. We're thinking separately from Krishna. But when we see everything in relation to Krishna, then that gives us peace. So chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, of course, also gives us peace. when we will sit and chant the Mahamantra or have kirtan. When we have kirtan, even the children are peaceful, you know. When we start to speak in give classes, then it's a challenge, you know. They get a bit restless. But kirtan, the holy name, and prasadam, these things, people become peaceful. We want to be peaceful. So we have to recognize our connection with Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna is describing here how he helps people who are devoted to him. Tesham satita yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. Priti purvakam means deep loving devotion, loving attachment, serving Krishna with love. Not just serving, you know, sometimes we do service, we do it grudgingly, you know. Maybe you're in a bad mood or something, you know, and you do the service grudgingly. Why I have to always cook, you know, like that sometimes. So the service is not done with real love. But bhakti, devotion to Krishna has to be with quality, service with loving feelings. It's that quality which is very important to Lord Krishna. And that's why you also know how in the Bhagavad Gita Krishna said we could offer him a leaf, a flower, fruit, water. Lord Krishna is not eager to get the offerings, but what he wants is that bhakti, that loving devotion by which they are offered. It's the quality of the offering which is important, not the actual thing which you're offering, but the mood in which we offer it. So that's important. That is real service. And we want to cultivate service, just like there's service industry, you know. It's a big industry today. A lot of places now, they don't produce so much. It's more service industry. The service industry, beauty parlors and massage, and then these hospitals and these different things. It's all giving service, doing service, hairdressers and all these things. It's all service industry. So we are also we're in service industry, but our service is directed to Lord Krishna. We like to serve him. And we can serve him by doing practical things, as I mentioned. Cooking, we cook for Krishna. When we go in the kitchen, we go cook for Krishna. We want to please him. And we also have a nice altar, and we will worship the deity, put some flowers, offer incense. We can bow before Krishna also, offering the obeisances. Just bowing to Krishna, that is also service to Krishna. And maybe you keep a tulsi plant at home, and if you have tulsi, then you can also water tulsi, because tulsi is a great devotee, you see. All the temples of Lord Vishnu, they all keep tulsi plants. So here in this country, tulsi grows very nice.
Yeah.
You know, it's a climate which is very suitable for tulsi. It's very much like Vrindavan, very dry. So tulsi grows very nicely, and you can keep tulsi in your home, and you can worship tulsi by offering some water, not too much, a little water, and offer tulsi again. She grows where there is devotion. She wants that love, that caring. That is important. Plants also have feelings, just like people. They have feelings. They know when they're being cared for. And the same way the plant can sense how much we're caring for the plant. and they will grow nicely where there is devotion. So we show devotion to Tulsi, we bow to her, we offer incense and flowers and a little water, and we circumambulate Tulsi. Sometimes people, they even arrange the marriage for Tulsi.
Yeah. Yes.
Right? That's a nice thing to do. Tulsi gets married to Shalagram. Right? I was in one place that it was the time for it's a particular day in the year when they have this festival. We just passed, just recently. But everybody comes with a Tulsi plant. So many people, they all came with their Tulsi. I want to get my Tulsi married. It's so nice. So, this is service to Krishna. Tulsi is one of the great devotees of Lord Krishna, and by worshipping Tulsi, we get more devotion for Krishna. And we sing the Tulsi Arti. When we worship Tulsi, O Tulsi, beloved of Krishna, I bow before you again and again. My desire is to obtain the service of Radha and Krishna. I beg you to make me a follower of the cowherd damsels of Braja. Please give me the privilege of devotional service and make me your own maidservant. This very fallen and lowly servant of Krishna prays, may I always swim in love for Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. So like that, we sing the song when we're worshipping Tulsi, and it helps us to develop devotion for Krishna. We practice these activities. Just like when we cook, we offer everything we cook. Try to offer everything you cook, offer it to Lord Krishna. And that will help us to develop our devotion for Krishna. Similarly, in our home, we think, this is Krishna's home. We don't think my home, we're thinking Krishna's home. And I am here as his servant. What happened was, many hundreds of years ago, Aurangzeb was attacking temples and he was breaking the deities of Krishna because he was very much against the Hindus worshipping worshipping the deities of Krishna. So he would go and break the deities. So when Aurangzeb was coming to Vrindavan, then they moved the deity of Govinda to Jaipur. So that deity of Govinda is still in Jaipur. They brought the deity to Jaipur because the king at that time, the Maharaja of Jaipur, he was a very great devotee and he was a Kshatriya king and they could defend it. But even Aurangzeb could not attack there. So they brought the deities to Jaipur for safekeeping. So after Aurangzeb had left the world and there was no danger anymore, then the Brijbasi people said, no, now we want to bring Govinda back to Vrindavan. But the Maharaja said, oh no, he said, Krishna has come to my home. I cannot tell him to go. So the king made Govinda the king and put the king as the servant of Govinda. So that should be the mood. You bring the deity into your home, it becomes the deity's home. And we are there as his servant. Right? We want to have that consciousness that we are the servant. Right? And we're tiny servants of Krishna. But that mood of being the servant, that's very important. And Krishna appreciates that mood. So there may be obstacles, there may be challenges in our devotional path. Maybe some family members are not favorable or like that. Maybe some difficulties in trying to practice. Maybe they don't like you chanting, or maybe they don't like hearing the holy name. Some challenges are there. So Krishna arranges, he helps us so that we can overcome all the difficulties. Often the difficulties are our own problems, our own laziness. Maybe we're lazy to chant, or we don't read the books, we don't take the time to read the books. And sometimes we don't take the time to offer everything. We just cook and then serve everything. We don't offer it. So Krishna helps us to improve everything. Krishna is in the heart and he knows everything which we are doing. Right? We don't have to hide from Krishna because he's everywhere. So he knows everything. And he knows the difficulties, he knows the problems and the failures which we have, and he helps us to overcome them. He gives us the intelligence, right? Buddhi yoga. This Buddhi yoga. We get intelligence. Krishna in the heart is giving us that knowledge. Krishna is in the heart as the super soul. So in the 15th chapter, Lord Krishna has described how the super soul works. Right? He says,
Sarvasya chaham hrudi sannivishto matta smriti jnanam apoganamcha vedaisya sarve rahameva vedya vedanta krut veda videvacha.
Okay, very good, yes. So Lord Krishna is saying he's in the heart of all living entities, and from him comes knowledge and remembrance and forgetfulness also. So the super soul. Just imagine how busy Krishna is. He's in every one of our hearts and he's giving us all knowledge, a remembrance and forgetfulness. He knows what we want and he helps us. If we want to remember Krishna, he helps us. And if we want to forget, he also helps us. He allows us to forget. He is reciprocating with each and every one of us according to our desire. In another place in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna describes the super soul as the Upadrasta and the Anumanta, the overseer and the permitter of activities. Just like if you work somewhere, maybe there's a supervisor overseeing everything. So super soul is like that. He's the overseer and he's the permitter of everything. So he's watching everything and making arrangements to help us, trying to give us that buddhi, that intelligence, so that we can come to him. We're here in this material world, and this, of course, this place, this is not our real home. But we're thinking, my home. We think, my country, like that. You know, this, of course, this is not the real truth. Just like in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna was telling the history of the Bhagavad Gita. In the 4th chapter, Lord Krishna was telling the history. He said, previously I instructed the knowledge of yoga to the sun god, Vivishwan. And Vivishwan gave to Manu, father of mankind, and then Manu gave to Ikshvaku. Ikshvaku was a king, and it came from Ikshvaku through the line of Rajashis, the saintly kings. So when Arjuna heard this, Arjuna was surprised and he said to Krishna, "Oh Krishna, how could you give the knowledge to the sun god? You and I are the same age. How could you give it to the sun? The sun god so much senior by birth. How could you give the knowledge to him?" Right? And what did Krishna say? Lord Krishna said, "Oh Arjuna, many, many births you and I have had. I can remember all of them. You do not." Right? We've had many, many births. Do you remember your previous births? We don't remember. I don't remember. So Lord Krishna said, He remembers. We don't remember. We're the conditioned souls. But we have had many births. Many births living in this material world, the different dreams of the material world, trying to enjoy, trying to be happy, trying to find eternal life in this temporary world. Of course, there's no eternal life in the material world. But by nature, we're all eternal. We're all spiritual beings. We're all souls. The soul is eternal, and we are all souls. Our body is just like the dress, right? Vachamsi
Vasamsi
Jirnani
jirnani yada vihaya navani kruhnante navani de.
Navani Grinati Naro Parani Tata Sharirani Vihaya Jirnani Anyani Samyati
Navani dehi. Yeah.
Right. Just like we change the dress, you know, you ladies, you have big wardrobes with so many clothes, right? That Prabhupada said the average woman will not be happy unless she has 30 saris. Right? The man has a couple of pairs of pants and the lady have 30 saris. Something like that. And so anyway, we changed the dress the same way we changed the body. Young boy, you'll grow very fast. In the past also he had another body, right? He's taken birth. So like that, our body's changing. The same way we give up one body, we take another body. And we remain in this material world again and again, taking birth and dying, taking birth and dying in this material world. We have one book. Oh, there's the book there, Coming Back. You can see there. Hold it up. That book. No, the other one. No, the one on the left. On the left.
Which one? Puragamana.
Yes, this one. Yes, Coming Back. You see, going out one door, coming back in the other door, right? Coming back. Book is about reincarnation. Do you all believe in reincarnation?
Yes.
Yes.
Hmm?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, if you don't, you should read the book. The book is quite nice, very simple, small book, tells about reincarnation. And the last chapter in the book, the last chapter is called Don't Come Back. Right? We don't want to come back. Why don't we want to come back? No, if you come back, if you come back, nobody will remember you. Family will say, "Who are you?" "I'm your mother." No, if we don't remember, we come back in a different body. And the body's changing, and nobody remembered. No, we cannot identify. Oh, this is my mother from the previous life. Cannot. Don't know. So it's offered. So it's say, don't come back. Get out of this wheel of birth and death. Go. Where should we go? We should go back to Godhead, right? Back to Krishna. Back to our real home. Our real home is there in we call it the spiritual world. We have a spiritual body. We are spirit souls, and we have a spiritual body. Now we're living in the material body. But we are not the body. Just like you get in a car, you don't become the car. You're sitting in the car, you get out of the car. The same way we're living in this body, we get out of the body. But we take another body, different bodies. Sometimes we become a deva, we go up to Swarga Loka and live in the heavenly planets and have a long life there, enjoying the opulence of Swarga Loka, which is much more opulent than Dubai. And sometimes we go to lower planets where there's a lot of suffering and darkness everywhere. Dubai very bright, a lot of sunlight. But in the lower regions, very dark. And all the light has to come from jewels. So there's different regions in the universe, many different planets. And we've been traveling through all of these different places in different bodies. Sometimes we become a bird and we fly in the sky. Sometimes we're a fish swimming in the sea. Now we've got the human body. So the human body is very special. What is the difference between the human body and the animal body?
Conscious.
Well, animals also have intelligence.
Yeah.
Animals also have some intelligence, you know. If you see the monkey, they're very intelligent. They'll steal your shoes to get some candy from them.
Correct.
They're very cunning sometimes.
Conscious.
So intelligence is also there in the animals.
Conscious.
I think they have a right to choose.
They,
They right or wrong. The human beings have the right to choose.
they can make decisions.
Decisions.
Yeah, but you see, generally animals, they're eating and sleeping and mating and defending. Right? They don't inquire. They're not going to ask, who am I? Why am I here? They're not going to be inquiring about how can I get out of this body. Human life, it's meant for inquiry. We're meant, and that's why there's religion in the human being and human society. Animals, they don't have any religion. They have their eating and sleeping. And if humans are only busy eating and sleeping, then they're no better than the animals. Right? We say Dvipada Pashu, the two-legged animal. But the Prabhupada said, the dog is on 4 legs and we're on 4 wheels. Right? The business is the same. The dog is saying, where's my food? Where will I sleep? And we're in the car and we're also thinking, where's my food? Where will I sleep? The same thinking. So we're meant for higher thought. Higher thought is to think about who am I? Why am I here? I want to be happy. Why am I suffering? Why am I not happy? Everyone wants happiness. Why am I not happy? I'm working so hard. I'm making money. Why am I not happy? Money doesn't make you happy. That's one of the illusions. One of our devotees is the Alfred Ford, the Ford Motor Company. He's the grandson of the founder of the Ford Motor Company, Henry Ford. Right? So his grandson, his name is Ambarish. He's a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. He met Prabhupada when he was a young man and he got initiation. And he's helping to build the Mayapur temple. And his wife is a Bengali, married to a Bengali lady. And they have 2 children. And they live inside the community in Florida. They have a temple. Yeah. So he's there. Anyway, what happened? His mother died some years ago. He brought his mother's ashes to Mayapur to put in the Ganga. And at that time he said, you know, people always think money will make you happy. He said, I know from my mother, it's not true. He said, my mother was never happy. She had so much money, but she was never happy. So this is very common. People think if I get money, I'll be happy. Not true. More anxiety, more problems. But still we have that illusion. Right? Well, I can be happy. Maybe they were not happy, but I will be happy. We'll think like that. Anyway, we have to understand these things, subtle points of the material world. We are looking for happiness. You won't find eternal happiness from the body, just from our senses. We won't find happy. But there is happiness in the soul. The nature of the soul is to be joyful, to be happy. So Buddhi Yoga is helping us to discover our spiritual nature, to understand ourselves more as a spiritual being, and to overcome the demands of the mind and the senses, which are pulling us, acting on us to do so many things. So Krishna consciousness is to bring us out of the bodily consciousness and bring us to the spiritual platform, understanding ourselves as a spiritual being and knowing that my real business is to chant Hare Krishna and to become engaged in Krishna's service. And the life here in this world, there's only temporary pleasures. There's no real happiness in this world. It's all so much difficulties and troubles. And even you go up to the higher planets, sometimes people think, I will go to Swarga Loka, I will go to heaven, and there I will enjoy. But there is also the fear of death. They're also worried that they may lose, they will fall, they go to heaven, they won't be able to stay there, because when their punya is finished, then they go back down again. Some punya takes you up there, and then when your punya is exhausted, come back down. Just like you may have enough money to go to America, but when your money runs out, then you come back to Dubai and the job again, right? So like that, pious activities, good, but they keep us in the material world. Devotional service is something different from just pious activities. Devotional service means engaging directly in the service of the Supreme Lord, chanting His holy name, hearing about Him and chanting, worshipping Him. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent Lord Nityananda and Haridas. They were two assistants of Lord Chaitanya, and he told them to go door to door to everyone and beg the people. When they open the door, fall at their feet and beg them. And what should we beg? We don't want money. We don't want to get the money. We want to beg them to chant the holy name, to worship Krishna, and to read the books about Krishna. It's in Bengali. In Bengali, put into poetry. They say, Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Koro Krishna Shiksha. Right? Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Koro Krishna Shiksha. Krishna Shiksha, the instructions of Krishna. We have to read. This is Bhagavad Gita. This is also Krishna Shiksha. Right? We want to read Bhagavad Gita. So you've read it one time, you have to keep reading. Read it again. And you read it again and again and again. And the more you read it, the more pleasure, the more value you get from it. It's like that. This is called Sanatana Dharma, the eternal religion, right? Sanatana Dharma. Our religion is not to become God. Our religion is simply to be engaged in the service of God. And that service is eternal. We never become God. We are always the servant. But there's more pleasure in being the servant than in being God himself. And that is why Krishna came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He wants to experience the pleasure of being the servant. Right? Who gets more pleasure? Krishna or Radha? Radha gets more pleasure. Yes. She can enjoy Krishna's wonderful qualities, and she also enjoys when she sees how much Krishna is attractive to her. Right? She sees that, oh, Krishna likes me so much, it gives so much pleasure to her. And she, at the same time, she's enjoying the wonderful qualities in Krishna. And she's enjoying serving Krishna. So that's why Lord Chaitanya came. Lord Krishna saw that Radha is enjoying more than me. Krishna thought, I want to enjoy, but she's enjoying thousands of times more than me. So then he understood, I will come as a devotee, like Radha. Then I can also experience that. And so this way Krishna came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to enjoy. We all like to enjoy. So enjoyment is there. Enjoyment is, but not in the body, not in the temporary material world. Enjoyment is in the soul. And we can awaken that enjoyment by chanting Hare Krishna. We chant the same mantra again, but the more we chant, the more pleasure it becomes, the more we enjoy. Bhagavad Gita, we read the book, we can read it again, we feel more and more pleasure. This is the nature of Sanatana Dharma. We can taste the eternal pleasure, spiritual pleasures, and that pleasure increases more and more. So Lord Krishna is there in the heart with us, and he's helping all of us. He's helping all of us to come to him. Right? So Krishna in the heart, he tells us what we need to do. But we have to listen to Krishna, right? Sometimes Krishna in the heart is telling us, don't eat this. But we don't like to hear, Krishna is telling us, you have to wake up early in the morning, you have to chant Hare Krishna, wake up early. Oh no. Pull the blanket over again, go back to sleep. I don't want to hear Krishna, right? Krishna is telling us, you have to read the book, you have to read, oh no. You have to learn the slokas, oh no. We don't hear Krishna. Krishna is telling us, and so he's so kind, he tries to help us to come to him. We have to hear, we have to be willing to hear from him. And if we take Krishna's advice, that will certainly help us to come out from this material world. Right? The success, we said, don't come back, right? If we come back, you don't know where you're going to go next life. Now you're here in this your human body, you have a nice situation, but we cannot remain in this situation forever. Just like your children, you tell the children, no, study, work hard, do all the exams, will help you get a good, but that will help for some time, but it's not eternal. Right? There's something beyond that, beyond this life. And we have to think of that also. The eternal religion, our eternal situation, our eternal home in the spiritual world. So we want to get out from this birth and death, go back to be with Krishna. And then we can, that is the real success. If we've, just like if you're doing a course and you fail, oh, you have to take the exam again. One Mataji she was telling me she was doing the bar, take the bar, to get on the, as a lawyer. She'd finished the course, LLB, but then you still have to take the bar, then you get the actual position to be, but the bar exam is so difficult. And it costs also $700, and you have to go to America to do it, And there's so many things, and 2 days, intensive examinations, writing, and so many things you have to do. And they only pass 40%. Only 40% of the people taking the exam pass. And thousands of people come to take the exam. Oh. So when you fail, you feel so much trouble, so much money. You have to go through the whole thing again. So like that, the same. If we don't go back to Godhead, then we have that again. Also that problem. Again, we have to take birth. Just like when the child is born, the mother and the family are feeling good. Oh, nice child has come. But the child is crying, oh no, here I come again, oh, I'm taking birth again, right? And when we die, when we leave the body, then people are crying, but the person is happy, I'm going finished with this body, getting out of this world. So we have to understand life and death, birth and death. The miseries of birth and death. We want to avoid these things. And how we can avoid it? By becoming Krishna conscious. And the change in the body. Death is simply the change of body. Changing. We've changed bodies many times. So we want to finish that business. We want to go back to our real body, our spiritual body. Our eternal place there in the kingdom with Krishna. And when we go back there, Krishna will say, where have you been? I didn't see you for a while. Where did you go? Well, we've been here in this material world. Time in this material world, it can be thousands of years. It can just be a moment in the spiritual world. It's a very brief time. But in this world, it can be thousands and thousands of years. Okay, any questions? Yes?
Thank you, Pranam Maharaj. It was such a wonderful class. I have 2 doubts, Maharaj. Can I ask one by one?
Okay.
So one is about my own challenges in devotional services that come from within. My family is supportive, but they are not into Krishna consciousness. Same is with my friends. Sometimes I feel I'm being a misfit. What if I do more than this in my devotional service? My husband is not saying anything, he's supporting, but I might drift apart from him because we always do things together. What if the other people in my surroundings, being a gristha, I want to be fit among all those. So these are my internal questions. Nobody's saying anything to me, but I'm putting questions to me. What if? Shall I do baby steps? Shall I do more in my devotional service? Am I able to make my question clear?
Yes, I understand your question. Yes. Very common question. The common situation.
Yes.
Interesting. Just yesterday, I was talking to some of our men devotees. They're in Europe. Actually, they're they're from Ukraine, and many of them, the refugees, they came from due to the war there between Russia and Ukraine, and they've come to Europe. But they're devotees. And I was talking to them, I was asking them about their situation. And the interesting thing is that the men, they're devotees, and they'll say, my wife is not a devotee, My wife doesn't want this. My wife is not into Krishna consciousness, And is she a vegetarian? No, she's not even a vegetarian, So this kind of situation is certainly a challenge, makes difficulties. Well, what to do? You can adjust, but somehow if you're determined, you want to be devotee, you don't have to leave your family, that's not required. But you can be, Krishna consciousness can be internal, that within yourself, you're doing everything. Prabhupada gave the example, he said, just like sometimes, a woman may have a paramour. She's a married woman, but she has a secret lover. I hope none of you are. But, sometimes these things happen, a woman gets involved with another man, So she's very careful not to let her husband know, right? But within her heart, within her mind, she's always thinking that, oh, I'm going to be with the other man. So she's very careful to do everything nice at home for her husband. So like that, that in your heart, you have to keep Krishna there. That Krishna is your paramour, you see, and you're thinking of him. But at the same time, you have your married husband, and you take care of the home, and you do all your duties, and do everything you're expected of you, and you can do it together, of course, with your husband. But at the same time, in your heart, you think of Krishna. And you can worship Krishna, you can have your altar, and that your husband doesn't mind that, does he?
No, not at all. He's not saying anything that puts more questions to me. If he's saying, like, we can have a discussion or argument if the husband is not supporting. Sometimes if he is not, but he's not actually into Krishna consciousness. That gives me questions to my devotional service activities. Like, should I go to this activity? Should I perform this?
Well, Srila Prabhupada did explain that if one person does it, then the other person also gets the benefit. They share the benefit, Husband and wife, they share each other's pious and sinful activities.
Yeah.
That's the way of married life, that you share each other's pious and sinful activity. So you're doing some devotional service, your husband also will get some benefit from that.
And he says so. He is saying, like, if you are doing, maybe someday, after some years, I'll also start doing this. He wants to. He doesn't stop me at all.
Okay.
He always encourages me, but I have questions, because he's not doing anything, I think I'm not going parallel to him. So it's like sometimes I'm pulled towards that side, sometimes I'm like, most of the time I'm pulled towards my devotional path, but sometimes I get pulled to that other side as well.
It's quite a common situation.
Okay,
that one person in the family does the devotion. Often I go to people and they would tell me, oh, my wife does everything, My wife does all the puja. My wife does all the prayers, And they get the benefit, They're giving donations and like that, And the wife is doing the devotion. So I don't think there's any problem there. Yeah. Your husband's lucky. You should tell him you're very lucky. I'm doing all this devotion. I'm giving you half the benefit. So if you do more, you tell him you're getting more benefit.
But Maharaj, same to that question only. But when you are doing the devotional services and but the family is not doing, and then they are eating, it becomes very difficult to stay in the same place. You're being in the same area where they are doing something which you don't agree to or you don't like it, but still you have to be there. You have to cook and give. It's a very, I can't explain the feeling. It's very
You mean non-veg? You mean?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there are certain activities, not even eating non-veg. It's about a kind of association. It's about kind of like investments. It's about kind of being more materialistic. Everything, because when a person is not coming regularly to the associations, the mentality is totally different. Although from their heart they are all devoted. They are all like God favoring. They are not like they don't. My husbands or my children or anybody in the family, they are not like against God, but because the activities are totally different. The activities we all housewives or we all in devotional service we are performing are very different from the activities our family members are doing. One case is that they are not into Krishna consciousness or they are following some different association. So there is a clash of thought process, and they being supportive, we can't even say that please. Yes. So that's a kind of confusion we face. They are not saying anything to us, don't do this, don't go there, don't do deity worship. They are very supportive.
You're lucky. It's not a problem. You have no problem then.
Okay, so I just asked him, this is my question to myself only. So if these questions are just be not to be taken care of, or just keep on doing steps by step my devotional service, and the things will go away, fade away.
You have
Yeah.
Yeah.
Save yourself. That's for Mataji, the situation, you know, people like non-veg like that. One of the problems often is, you know, maybe you're not a very good cook, I don't know.
Maharaj, she's a very good cook.
But if you know, we often find that if you could cook very nice vegetarian dishes, then people can be attracted to it.
Yes, in the house I do, but when they go out they eat.
Well, that's okay, that's up to them.
But I have to be there with them.
They're calling her
You go
also
out with them.
Maharaj.
Yeah, I do go out with them.
Yeah.
Mostly I eat and I go. So I
Yeah.
just have some juice in the same place because it becomes difficult for me. The food is all here, and even though I'm eating the vegetarian, I feel I'm eating the non-vegetarian because
They're touching the all the time. They're touching
no,
the
I
plates.
keep my plate. But still,
You are not sharing with your
sometimes
children.
I cannot avoid that because maybe I'm somewhere and I straight away go to the restaurant. But if I'm leaving from home to the restaurant, I eat and I go. So it's like that. And more than that, I feel very unhappy. It's just the situation makes me very unhappy.
Well, what can we say, yeah?
Maharaj, has Krishna put us in such situations to teach any lesson? What is the lesson from this? I mean, I'm sure if we are facing these things in our life, it is Krishna willing, right? Everything that happens is Krishna willing. So if we are in such situations, what is the lesson? I mean, what is the take home? What is the learning from it that we are facing day in, day out in such situations?
Well, the lesson is that certain things, people have certain levels of living and eating. What can we say? The lesson is we should be lucky that at least we know certain things are right. What's the proper food? What we should eat and what we shouldn't. You have to be thankful for that at least you've understood what is the proper diet for our spiritual well-being. Other people, they're simply eating. It's a conditioning, you know, because they haven't had that habit. They haven't been brought up like that. And somebody's brought up from the beginning of life, you know, the young children, if they're brought up as vegetarians and like that, then it's natural for them. But not everybody had that opportunity. Not everybody could take it up. So you should feel fortunate that you could come to it, that at least you could become you could be vegetarian and you understand what is the proper food, what to eat, what not to eat. You can feel some compassion for the others. You know, people go out, it's going to happen, they're going to do these things, you know. They haven't awakened yet to this. Sometimes it happens, one man I knew, he ate some seafood and he got very sick. And then he vowed after he was going to be a vegetarian. He thought, it's so bad, it's okay, so bad. Sometimes it happens, you get health problems, some kind of disease or something, and it's attributed to what you ate. And then people are convinced that, oh, I have to change my diet. You didn't want to have a proper diet. Often people think that being a vegetarian, you have to starve, you know. You just eat green leaves and rice, you know. People, they don't know that the vegetarian diet can be very tasty and nutritious and can give you a longer life, better health, more energy. People are often not very much aware of these things. So we try to educate people. We have we do cooking courses, cooking classes, and we encourage people also to prepare nice vegetarian dishes, make it more attractive. One of our devotees in Shanghai, over in China, his wife would make a lunchbox for him. He'd take it to the office, and all the other men in the office, when they saw his lunchbox, they said, wow, they said, where'd you get this? He said, this looks wonderful, you know, compared to what they were eating. You know, they said, oh, can you get me like this? I want to eat like this too. When they saw what he was eating, you know, she'd make some nice vegetarian dishes, and they would take it to work, and then other people would see it. They would be attracted. Wow, that looks really good. And so we have to try. We have to be innovative, imaginative, and you know, you have to really make some efforts, make it really good, really attractive, and even just the aroma. You know, you make a nice, what is it? In South India they have kurma and colombo and these different curries, right? And they're very, very tasty, very wonderful aroma. And people eat like that. They will never ask where, you know, Prabhupada went to America, nobody was a vegetarian. Prabhupada was cooking for them. Nobody said, I want some meat. They were all saying, give me more chapatis. Give me another pakora, give me another samosa. Prabhupada was cooking so nice, you know, that everybody was enjoying it. So, you know, you can change people. They can become people. Many people, meat eaters, can become vegetarian. You know, definitely it's possible.
Nobody has a question. I have
She
one
ended
question.
the
Yes, go ahead. Yeah.
So it's about while performing devotional service. I sometimes get confused, like when my mood and the decorum of doing the devotional service. I feel like if I take more care of decorum, I lose that mood where I want to. And if I am like in a proper mood of doing devotional service, like offering food or deity worship, I sometimes forget the decorum. So how to just create a perfect balance that I maintain that mood of performing my devotional service of offering bhoga. Like for example, to make the question clearer, before coming to Krishna consciousness, there were different type of, I would say, offering mantras or verses which I used to chant while offering food bhoga to Krishna. While coming to Krishna consciousness, we have been taught like these are the specific mantras and this is the time duration and this is how you should offer to Guru Parampara first and then to Krishna. So I'm just giving an example. So this is one decorum I should follow, but I have never followed this before coming to Krishna consciousness. In that mood of offering bhoga, I just offered bhoga to Krishna. And so, then I remember, oh no, this is not decorum. Then I sometimes forget my mood. I'm so sorry. This is the problem I faced. many a times.
Yeah.
So, like how to create a perfect balance. Like I should be in that proper mood of anything, any devotional service. It can be anything. It can be deity worship as well. So, being a Nair devotee, I just perform deity service as it is. Like I was not aware how to bathe Laddu Gopal, how to like offer first incense stick and then later on third incense. I'm not even aware of. But I read, when I am reading Bhagavatam, there are specific steps, and I was like amazed and astonished and sometimes scared. Like I'm not following the proper procedure.
Mm. Well, what is the proper procedure? You do sadhana. You do your sadhana, that's important. You do your chanting and worship Krishna like that. That's the proper procedure, the proper mood. That sadhana is what keeps you balanced. If you do the sadhana regularly every day, our sadhana, the morning program, waking up and bathing and putting tilak on the body and then chanting the holy name and worshipping Krishna. So like that is what gives us that balance. It keeps us properly situated. Sadhana is the strength to conquer the mind, the restless mind. We forget Krishna, but by doing sadhana, then we remember Krishna.
In sadhana, specifically chanting and?
Well, chanting is the most important. You do the chanting, and then also a little worship of Lord Krishna, little worshiping, like bowing to Krishna and offering maybe incense or flowers. And then even chanting some songs, like we sing some songs, and you can chant the Maha Mantra even, a little like that. That is part of the sadhana. Like in our temples we have artis, and when we have arti we will sing different things. And in the morning, sometimes every morning they will sing the Guru Vastakam. At least we should sing Hare Krishna mantra, Panchatattva mantra, Hare Krishna mantra. These things are important. So little kirtan, remembering to chant the holy name, that's important.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sadhana. We saw the daily practice. We're not perfect. If we were perfect, then it's siddha, but we're doing sadhana. We're not siddhas. We're practicing. So we're on the path. Takes time to practice, but gradually practice. Just like in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna said to Krishna, it's very difficult to control the mind. And Krishna said, well, yes, I know it's difficult, but possible, right?
Yes.
And what's required?
Abhyas.
Abhyas, right? Constant practice, and vairag also, detachment. We have to put aside sometimes the material things, and focus more on the goal, the spiritual path. So detachment from the material sense enjoyment. Practice will take time. Doesn't happen immediately. It's going to take time. But you're on the path. We should be happy.
Yeah.
At least we're on the path. We just have to go on, go forward. Okay? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai.
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 Jai.